need to go, sir. We don't want to hear from you no more. You're not defending us.
Person of interest police were questioning, but as you mentioned, within the last hour, we've learned a suspect has been taken into custody.
That set of procedural justice is not in my domain. So you'd have to ask those folks either in public defense or prosecution.
Police say Riley's friend called them concerned after she didn't return from a run at the intramural fields near Lake Herrick.
He did not know her at all. I think this was a crime of opportunity.
And the number that we are going to be working our tails off every day for is 0.
Venezuelan migrant arrest. The arrest of a Venezuelan migrant for the physical attack of a 14-year-old girl in Louisiana, as well as the arrest of a Honduran migrant for physical misconduct and piercing during a robbery, highlight a sequence of crimes involving illegal migrants in the United States. Both of these instances happened in Louisiana. The charges against him include carnal knowledge of a child without force and taking indecent liberties with a child. He is now in detention. Authorities have concluded that Montes is a Venezuelan citizen who has been unlawfully present in the United States since September 2 when he crossed the southern border into El Paso, Texas. He was detained by U.S. Customs and Border Protection before being released.
You need to go, sir. We don't want to hear from you no more. You're not defending us.
Person of interest police were questioning, but as you mentioned, within the last hour, we've learned a suspect has been taken into custody.
That set of procedural justice is not in my domain. So you'd have to ask those folks either in public defense or prosecution.
Police say Riley's friend called them concerned after she didn't return from a run at the intramural fields near Lake Herrick.
Case of Athens, Georgia. In the wake of the tragic slaying of 22-year-old Laken Riley on the University of Georgia's campus, Athens, Georgia found itself embroiled in a maelstrom of emotions, political tension, and national scrutiny. The incident not only led to expressions of fury directed at the Democratic mayor, Kelly Girtz, but also ignited a contentious debate surrounding immigration policies and the city's perceived sanctuary status. Mayor Girtz, addressing the press amidst mounting public outrage, expressed profound sorrow over Riley's demise and unveiled a series of initiatives aimed at bolstering public safety in the metro area. These initiatives included the establishment of a real-time crime center, the acquisition of ATVs to enhance officers' mobility, and the expansion of surveillance camera coverage in areas identified as high risk. However, amidst the grief and the proposed measures for enhanced safety, the narrative took a sharp turn towards the issue of immigration. Jose Antonio Ibarra, the individual arrested in connection with Riley's slaying, was revealed to be an undocumented immigrant from Venezuela, sparking heated debates over Athens' sanctuary city status. The concept of sanctuary cities, where local laws are designed to shield immigrants from deportation or prosecution, became a focal point of contention. Critics, including some state officials, blamed Athens' alleged sanctuary policies for facilitating Ibarra's presence in the city. This accusation thrust Athens into the national immigration debate, with protesters calling for Mayor Girtz's resignation and demanding mass deportations. In the face of mounting pressure, Mayor Girtz vehemently denied Athens' sanctuary city designation, emphasizing the city's compliance with state laws and its commitment to public safety. He clarified that the state mandated annual proofs of compliance to ensure adherence to immigration regulations. Moreover, Girtz challenged the notion of linking immigration to crime, citing data indicating a downward trend in the area's crime rate despite an increase in population. He cautioned against conflating immigration issues with broader concerns about public safety, urging for a nuanced approach to the complex intersection of these issues. Amidst the political turmoil, Girtz call for federal intervention in addressing immigration, underscored the need for a comprehensive and cooperative approach at the national level. He advocated for constructive dialogue and cooperation between local, state, and federal authorities to navigate the intricate landscape of immigration policy and its implications for public safety. The case of Athens, Georgia serves as a microcosm of the broader challenges and complexities surrounding immigration and public safety in contemporary America. It highlights the tensions between local autonomy and federal mandates, as well as the delicate balance between compassion for immigrants and concerns for public security.
He did not know her at all. I think this was a crime of opportunity.
And the number that we are going to be working our tails off every day for is 0.
Jose Ibarra, the suspected killer of Laken Riley's arrest affidavit, says that he used a weapon.
We are obtaining arrest warrants for Jose Antonio Ibarra.
There's been no legislation from this government that has created sanctuary city status.
Sanctuary cities. The resurgence of sanctuary city policies has ignited a heated debate surrounding immigration enforcement and public safety in the United States. Critics contend that these policies, characterized by limited cooperation with federal immigration authorities, contribute to crime by shielding undocumented migrants from deportation. However, a closer examination reveals a complex interplay of historical contexts, grassroots activism, and legal frameworks shaping the sanctuary city movement. Originating in response to the mistreatment of Central American refugees by the federal government during the 1980s, the sanctuary city concept emerged as a form of resistance to draconian immigration policies. As the U.S. government sought to criminalize asylum seekers, grassroots organizations and religious institutions mobilized to provide sanctuary and support for vulnerable immigrant populations. The sanctuary movement, initially led by religious groups in California and Arizona, gained momentum, prompting several cities and states to adopt sanctuary policies aimed at limiting cooperation with federal immigration authorities. Additionally, the fear of deportation has adverse effects on public health and education, as immigrant families hesitate to access vital services for fear of immigration enforcement. The resilience of sanctuary cities amidst political turmoil underscores the importance of grassroots mobilization and local activism in shaping immigration policy. From the sanctuary movement of the 1980s to contemporary advocacy efforts, community organizations have played a pivotal role in galvanizing support for immigrant rights and fostering inclusive urban spaces. As cities grapple with the complexities of immigration and identity in an increasingly globalized world, sanctuary city policies offer a model for promoting social cohesion and integration. By prioritizing the well-being of all residents, regardless of immigration status, sanctuary cities embody the values of inclusivity and solidarity in the face of adversity.
And while there is apparently progress in terms of Congress's plan to hatch out a border deal.
To understand that we're in the middle of a surge right now, let me start with the numbers. Last week, I think, my notes say 3,800.
Some migrant families will soon be given prepaid credit cards to buy food and baby supplies.
New York City kids living in poverty, and yet they're spending tens of millions on prepaid debit cards.
Since arriving in the city, many asylum seekers are picking up various day jobs in order to make ends meet.
Balancing security and humanity. The segment presents a call for reinstatement of stricter border policies and reforms in law enforcement funding and asylum processes to prevent future crimes by illegal migrants. This proposal reflects broader national debates over immigration policy, sanctuary cities, and their impacts on community safety, with political figures and citizens alike demanding action. The $118 billion bipartisan agreement, unveiled by Senators Langford, Murphy, and Sinema, seeks to address the surge in illegal crossings at the southern border and overhaul the overwhelmed asylum system. It encompasses provisions aimed at raising the standard for asylum, expediting legitimate cases while swiftly rejecting unqualified applicants, and enhancing border security measures. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer hailed the agreement as a monumental step towards bolstering national security and border enforcement. However, the deal faces staunch opposition from conservative senators, buoyed by former President Trump's call for its rejection unless deemed perfect. The polarization underscores the challenges of passing comprehensive immigration reform in a politically charged environment. Key provisions of the bill include the introduction of Emergency Border Closure Authority, allowing the Department of Homeland Security to shut down the border in response to surges in migrant crossings. Additionally, it seeks to end the practice of catch and release, mandating detention for migrants attempting illegal entry while facilitating lawful entry for asylum seekers through designated ports of entry. The bill also raises the standard for asylum claims, prioritizing applicants with no disqualifying criminal history and those who have sought safety in third countries before seeking refuge in the U.S.
City is caring for nearly 60,000 migrants right now. Let's face it, that number is not expected to get smaller.
Governor Hochul discussed New York's migrant crisis with President Biden yesterday in a conversation she called very productive.
They will start with 500 migrant families with children in short-term hotel stays.
As soon as Biden reversed policies, as soon as he embraced an open border, we knew this was going to be a big issue.
President Biden, in contrast, has pledged to reverse these measures and pursue systemic reforms, but faces challenges exacerbated by the pandemic and record-high migration levels. The demographic landscape of the United States continues to evolve, with immigrants and their descendants comprising a significant and growing share of the population. As policymakers grapple with the implications of immigration on national identity and social cohesion, the need for pragmatic and inclusive solutions becomes increasingly urgent. Overall, the debate over immigration policy reform reflects competing interests, values, and visions for the future of America. While bipartisan efforts to address border security and asylum challenges are commendable, the road to consensus remains fraught with political obstacles. As policymakers navigate these challenges, they must strive to uphold the nation's founding principles of liberty, equality, and justice for all. That's all for this video, folks. See you next time.